So the topic tonight, Buddhist concept on Dana. There are many things for us to learn actually. The word Dana means just giving. Not only food, whatever we give, it is Dana. But today we use this word, or we confined this word only for offering of food. Dana means offering of food, but not the literary meaning. The Buddha, when he wanted to cultivate, developed all the great qualities, virtues, precepts, morals, principles, he started with Dana. Among the 10 paramitas, 10 perfections that he had to practice to gain enlightenment for life after life, the first item is Dana. Start. Laid the foundation for gaining enlightenment by practicing Dana. He practiced this in 3 ways, called Dana Paramita, Dana Upaparamita, Dana Paramartha Paramita. Dana Paramita, offering material things, food, clothing, shelter, money, land, houses, anything, whatever we like, any material things, that is Dana. Then the next one is higher than that. Dana Upaparamita. That means contributing or donating something from our physical body. That is not so easy. Some people are reluctant. Some people have superstitious belief. Therefore, they are not willing to come forward to donate something from their body. Today we can donate blood, eyes, heart, kidneys, and now I think they have developed lungs also. But people say, if they allow people to take out one of the organs from their body, in the next birth, that will be missing. They will be born without that particular organ. It's very difficult to enlighten some people who maintain this belief. Now take for instance Albert Einstein, who died 44 years ago, one of the highly intellectual scientists. Everybody respects him. He has advised people to take out his brain after his death and study, because he knew there must be some sort of extraordinary formation in his brain. So they did that, still studying. Recently they have discovered 2 extraordinary formation in his brain that they have never seen in some other's brain. So in that case, now Albert Einstein's rebirth has taken place without brain. So we never think very reasonable way, without wasting. After our death, not while we are living, we can pledge to donate our eyes, take out our kidneys, and take out any organ, whatever they like, to restore and support those who are suffering, those who are going to die. So the Buddha, as Bodhisattva, practiced this Dana by donating his eyes, blood, flesh. But I cannot understand, thousands of years ago, how they have practiced this eye operations, transplantation, and flesh, of course, there's no problem. Blood also not so easy, because that time they have never studied the blood group. So one person cannot take blood from another person, is not the same group. Even then they had some sort of technique. So that is called Dana Upavarita. Donated anything, whatever he wanted, for the well-being of others. Then the third one is the highest one. Dana Paramartha Paramita. When this word Paramartha is a Sanskrit word, meaning is in the higher sense, Paramartha. When this word was introduced to China, they have written in Chinese character, Polomato. Because Chinese character they cannot write this word, Sanskrit word, Paramartha, in higher sense. That is, come forward to sacrifice the life, to protect, to save, for the well-being of others. Now that is not so easy. It does not mean that we must purposely die to do some service to others. When others are in trouble, we come forward even at the risk of our death. Now that is called sacrificing our life. He has done this on many occasions during his previous birth, for the sake of gaining enlightenment to serve others. This is the nature of practicing dana. Again, the Buddha has introduced 3 ways for us to practice this dana. Āmisa dana, abhaya dana, dharma dana. Āmisa dana, donating, offering any material thing. Just I mentioned food, clothing, medicine, shelter, houses, land, whatever you can. First stage. Second stage, abhaya dana. Bhaya means fear. Abhaya means release the fear from others' mind. Those who have fear, those who have worries, those who have tension, those who have suspicion, those who are worrying about their death and sicknesses, we can do something or we can say something to release that fear from their mind. It is very, very important. Not only that, certain creatures, animals, birds are suffering. They were caught by unscrupulous people and keep in the market for sale. Having seen this situation, we go and buy them and release, allow them to have free, like independent life without suffering. Then what happened? More and more people started to buy birds on Vesak Day to release. Earlier, they go and catch more and more birds. Then I announce, inform many temples and societies, stop buying birds from the market on Vesak Day, because purposely people go and catch these birds. So they reduce catching bird because nobody wants to buy it. This is the nature of our human mind. So if we can release the fear of death, fear of suffering, that is the highest dana, higher than the material thing that we offer. Reduce others' fear from their mind. Abhaya dana. Next one is dharma dana. Dharma means truth, the fact or reality. Many people are ignorant. Many people have superstitious belief, imaginations, misunderstanding. If we can do something to educate them, to enlighten them, for them to understand what is right and what is wrong, that is Dhamma Dana. We can do this by talking, by preaching, by writing, publishing books. Then people, millions of people, get the chance to open their mind and to understand, to withdraw certain misconceptions that they have been keeping in their mind. I had this experience. So far I have written 48 books. Many of them have been translated into 15 to 20 other languages in different countries. Amount of letters, telephone calls that I get, appreciating for writing such books, for them to understand things properly, withdraw certain misconceptions and beliefs that they had in their mind. That is the highest meritorious deed, the highest dana, according to the Buddha. You can spend millions of dollars to give food and clothing and medicine. But if you can enlighten one person to withdraw wrong belief and idea, that is higher than that the 1 million that you spend for worldly material things. So the main purpose of gaining enlightenment of the Buddha, to tell us what is right and what is wrong, what to do and what not to do, but not to introduce any religious law, religious commandment, religious punishment you cannot find in Buddhism. Recently I was invited to give a talk in a Catholic church on Buddhism. After my talk, somebody asked this question. You say the Buddha said like this. We say Jesus said like this. Who is right? Then I told, you can forget your Jesus. I can forget the Buddha. Use our common sense unbiasedly. Then we can understand who is right and who is wrong. Example. The Buddha says we should not steal. Jesus said, thou shalt not steal. Do you think without Buddha, without Jesus, we can understand that stealing is wrong? Why do you want to depend on Buddha or Jesus to understand that it is wrong? That is what the Buddha wanted to tell us. Don't depend on a person to understand whether it is right or wrong. You have a mind to think. So the Buddha's technique was to influence people, to teach people how to think and how to understand what is right and what is wrong, without accepting as a law given by the God or anybody else. We have that mind, but we surrender our intelligence. We do not think. We just maintain some sort of belief. The Buddha never advised anybody to believe anything at once. Study, practice, experience. No belief. Because we gain confidence when we realize what it is. All the others follow certain laws and commandments given by their authorities because of fear of punishment. If not the temptation they have created in their mind to go and enjoy their life. The Buddha did not do this. He did not create fear in others' mind. He did not create a temptation. He has shown the path for us to understand things properly by using our human intelligence. I think all of you know why we are called Manushya. It's a Sanskrit, Pali, so many other languages also, they use this word Manushya, humans. Mana means mind. Ussannata, raise. One who can raise, develop, cultivate his or her mind up to the maximum level, that person is called Manushya. When we compare humans with all the other living beings in this universe, whole universe, you cannot find a single living being in any part of the universe that we can compare with the human intelligence. Why? By birth, they gain some sort of inborn or intrinsic mental attitude. Every creature has some sort of mental attitude. For their survival, for their protection, for their pleasure, and for their shelter. They cannot extend their mind further than that. This is the difference. Human beings can develop their mind to accommodate the whole universe in our mind. Now, the Buddha has developed, cultivated his mind to gain enlightenment, to enlighten the whole world. Scientists use the same human mind to discover atom and nuclear weapons to destroy the whole world. Same human mind. That's why Albert Einstein, just now I mentioned, says, science without religion is blind. Religion without science is lame or crippled. 100% correct what he has said. Now scientists have discovered so many things, but no religion to guide them. That's why he said they are blind. They misused and abused for destructive purpose. So they are blind. Therefore religion must be there to guide them. Otherwise they can destroy the whole world very easily. Do you know how far they have developed the human mind to destroy this world? If President of America push one button, within half an hour, the whole world turn into ashes. See how far they have developed. Because nuclear weapons are ready. When they get the signal from their blast, they say, if all these nuclear weapons blast at once, not only this world, the sun and the moons will be affected. Human mind discovered all these things. The same human mind, the Buddha, developed to gain enlightenment, to guide humanity, to gain enlightenment, to understand things properly, without blindfolding. This is the nature of human mind. Again, religion without science is lame or not active. It is true. Many of those religious beliefs recorded in their holy books, mere imaginations, belief that people maintained few thousand years ago, recorded in the holy book, saying this is the message given by the God. When scientists analyze all these things, they have ousted, put into dustbin all those beliefs according to their scientific discoveries. You might have read 1998, Pope John announced, it appeared in the local newspaper. He says, human beings were not created by the God. They come into existence due to evolution. They had a battle with theory of evolution of Charles Darwin for nearly 100 years. Finally they had to surrender. They knew intellectuals all over the world rejected this belief. Finally, Pope had to say this. Can you imagine? Pope is the living God on this earth to Catholics. But he announced, human beings are not created by the God. So if you take item by item what scientists have mentioned about religious belief, you laugh actually. How they have rejected. That is what Albert Einstein says. Religion without science is not active, not practicable. So, religion must know how to encourage people to use their intelligence without interrupting. Religions do not allow people to use their intelligence, interrupt, saying, oh, it is against our religion. Recently, when scientists want to develop cloning, living beings, two religions approached the government to ban. People came to interview. What is the Buddhist concept? We say there is no reason for us to interrupt. Buddhism always encourages people to use their intelligence. But if they misuse by adopting an immoral or wicked or harmful method, then religion can interfere. Otherwise, we should not disturb their intelligence. So, let us come back to our Dana. Author of that book, Two Masters, One Message, Dr. Roy Amore, is in Canada. He has asked this question when he visited Malaysia. He said, why these Buddhists are mad to feed monks by force while people are starving without having anything to eat? He said, I really cannot understand. They come and force the monks to eat. No, this is very good, you must eat and take. But others are starving and dying, why not we give them something to eat? Then I explain. What is the Buddhist concept? A man who was a follower of another religion, Upali, came to see the Buddha. Straight away he said, I have decided to become a Buddhist. Then the Buddha asked, why do you want to become a Buddhist? People say your teaching is very good. Have you heard my teaching? No. Do you know whether you can practice my teachings? No. Not knowing all those things, why do you want to change your religion? That is the Buddhist attitude. Then he said, that is not the way to change the religion. You must study, find out whether you can agree, whether you can practice, whether there is truth or reality in this teaching. Then you can change your religion. Then he said, I think this advice is more than enough for me to understand the nature of your teaching. Not necessary to listen many more. Because if I have approached other religious teachers, at once they embrace me and announce, such a big man come and embrace our religion. Instead, you advise me to wait and study and consider. I agree with your teaching. Now I am a Buddhist. Then he asked two questions. I have been supporting the priest of my former religion. Now I am a Buddhist. As a Buddhist, can I support them? The Buddha said, you can support any living being, worms, flies, ants, also meritorious deeds. There is no harm at all. You can support. This is the Buddhist attitude. Now when you approach the followers of other religion, asking some donation for something, it is against our religion, we cannot contribute anything to another religion. See the difference. Buddhist attitude and others' attitude. So, then he explained, when you offer some food to animals, definitely you get some merits. After that, you offer some food to human being, then you gain more merits. Human life is more valuable than animal life. Therefore you gain more merits. Again, if you can offer your food to a person who observes at least 5 precepts, then you gain more merits because that person uphold certain principles, good qualities, certain virtues. Again you offer this food to a person who observed 8 precepts, 10 precepts, or as a monk or nun who observe more precepts, then you gain more merit. Again you offer this food to a person who has attained the first stage of sainthood, sotapanna, gain more merit. Then anagami, sotapanna, sakadagami, anagami, arahanta, 4 stages, higher and higher and higher. So the degrees of your merit also increase. Then you offer food to a Buddha, enlightened religious teacher. You gain more merit. Again you offer this food to the Buddha and Arahantas, his disciples. You gain more merit than offering only to the Buddha. If you offer to the monks and the Buddha together, you gain more merit. This is the concept. This is the way how Buddha has explained how we gain merit according to the virtues, the qualities and principles and holiness and sacredness of the receiver. Therefore, people believe that when they offer food to the monk, they gain more merit. Why? The monk's way of life, or monks or nuns, they are trying their level best to be good by reducing their jealousy, their anger, their greed, their selfishness, cruelty, cunningness, wickedness. They try their best to reduce and reduce and reduce all the evil forces. Try to cultivate sympathy, kindness, compassion, honesty, patience, tolerance, good qualities. So, by thinking, the monks and nuns maintain some good qualities, principles. They believe that they can gain more merit or blessing by offering dana to the monks or nuns. On the other hand, the monks and nuns are ready whole day and night to do some service to others. They are not working for their own benefit. At any time, they are ready to go and bless, to conduct religious services, to advise people, and they are available at any time to do some service to others. But ordinary people have their own obligations, duties, commitment, responsibilities. They have no time to attend to others. That is why people have chosen the monks or nuns to offer something, thinking that they get more blessings, more merits. But by offering to others, ordinary people, they won't get the same amount of merit. So it does not mean Buddhism discourages people to offer to ordinary people. Anathapindika, the great supporter of the Buddha, his name is Anathapindika, meaning feeder of the poor. Anathapindika. His whole lifetime he devoted to feed the poor people. The Buddha encouraged. Therefore, people cannot say, Buddhism advised to offer only to the monks but not to the poor people. But the Buddha explained the degrees of merits, how increase and reduce. Now you can understand. Then, by offering, just now I mentioned among the 10 perfections of paramitas, the Buddha had to practice as Bodhisattva for gaining enlightenment. Why he did start with Dana as first item? To give Dana, we had to get ready. We had to prepare our mind. First thing, we had to reduce selfishness. Selfishness or greed are most dangerous evil forces in our mind. By offering or giving something, we reduce that selfishness. We reduce the greed and contribute something. Again, there are 3 qualities that we have to develop in our mind whenever we are going to offer something to somebody. Somanassa sahagata, jnana sampayutta, asankarika. These 3 qualities must be there. If they want to experience the good result, good effect, somanassa sahagata, reduce anger, jealousy, grudge, ill will, enmity, ignorance from the mind while they are doing this. If they do this by keeping all those things, they won't be able to experience the good result. There must be some sort of happiness, confidence in the mind when they perform this. That is the first item. Jnana sampayutta. They must know what is the significance or what is the purpose or why should we do this. Not knowing this just only for the namesake or as our duty. If not somebody approach and ask us to do that, you won't get the real good result. You must know what you are doing. Why do you want to offer? By offering, what kind of services you can render and what you get in return. You must know this. Jnana sampayutta. Asankarika, third one. Asankharika means the idea must be implanted or created by someone. Then inform the others. Now somebody started to think, how nice if we can organize this Mahasangika Dana. Appeared only in one man's mind. After that, inform the others. Thousands of others come and support, provide everything. But the person who created this idea gained more merit. Because others did not create this idea. They get the idea from the other person. This is a very important point. You can contribute, support, assist others in their activities when they approach and ask. But one who thought that he or she wanted to do this and inform others gain more merit. Idea is created by that person. These three qualities when we perform this meritorious deeds. Then, by offering dana, we gain merit. In English language, we can use only this one word, merit. There is no another word. But in the Buddha's language, there are two words, punya and kusala in Pali language. Punya, merit. Kusala, also merit in English. But two different aspects. Now you want to offer dana. What is your purpose? What do you expect in return by offering this dana? If you think, by offering this dana, I get some merits or blessing. By the virtues of this merit, may I get the chance to be born in a very rich family to enjoy my life, to go to heaven and enjoy my life. That is called punya. That means expect some worldly material things. The purpose of giving this dana is to gain some worldly material things of pleasure, happiness. You gain what you wanted. After spending, there is nothing in the end. You go bankrupt. Your merit banks, bankrupt. Not enough merit. Again and again you had to accumulate punya, merits. If not, you get into trouble. Now let us see what is happening in this world today, in many parts of the world. How many millions of human beings are dying, starving, without food? You might have read in the newspaper, even today. How many millions of human beings are there who cannot find a piece of cloth to cover their nakedness? You do not know, but I have seen. How many millions are there for generations who never had any shelter, no house? Their birth and death both take place under the pavement, the roadside, or under the trees. During the winter, summer, rainy season, they have to spend their life. Even cats and dogs also, they know how to maintain that. Then, why these millions of human beings are suffering? Who is responsible for that? If there is a God to create these human beings, can you understand for what purpose the God created these human beings to suffer for nothing? it is not, is it not his duty, after creating these human beings, to provide the food and clothing and shelters and their requisite? If not, for what purpose that he created? For them to suffer. One writer has written in his book, we were taught that God created us. We can understand because of his creation how we suffer. If he did not create us, there is nobody to suffer. The whole life we dedicate to get rid of our suffering. It is a big battle. Living means struggling to get rid of our suffering. If God kept quiet without creating, there is nobody to suffer. Then he says, not only that, they also advise us to worship them. I really cannot understand why we should worship them. We are suffering because of the creation, and why should we worship them? When people use their common sense, they can understand. Here, it is not that God created them. Let us come back to the Buddhist point of view. Buddhism can explain this very clearly. They were human beings during their previous birth. They work, they earned, they enjoy. They have not done any punya karma or meritorious deeds for their expenses in the next life. So they have departed from this world without enough merit for them to maintain that human life. They had little bit of merit to be born a human, but nothing to spend. That is why they had to suffer. This is a living example for all of us. Now here, we are spending all the merits that we have accumulated during our previous birth. When we compare our life with them, you can understand how fortunate we are. Have you ever heard even one man died in this country starving without food? One man without a piece of cloth? Must go to other countries. The Buddha has explained this in Mangala Sutra. Patirupa desa vasocha pubbecha kata punyata. Those who have done enough meritorious deeds during their previous birth will get the chance to be born in certain countries where they can lead their normal life without suffering. Pubbecha kata punyata. During the previous birth, they have done some punya kamma or meritorious deed. And those who were born without such good karma, they had to suffer. Now we are spending what we have done as merit. After spending and spending and spending, when we depart from this world without accumulating some good karma, what will happen? Same thing will happen to us again. We had to suffer. We cannot expect anything from others because individually we are responsible for our life. I am responsible for my life and you are responsible for your life. Therefore, it is my duty and your duty, while experiencing the good meritorious deeds what we have accumulated during previous birth, to prepare for the next existence. So while we are living here, we had to prepare for that. In simple language, it is mentioned, we are the result of what we were. We will be the result of what we are. Very easy to understand. We are the result of what we were. If our lives are fortunate, prosperous, peaceful, we experience a good result what we have done during the previous birth. If our lives are miserable, unfortunate, suffer physically and mentally, result all the bad deeds what we have done. We will be the result of what we are. Our next existence take place according to our way of life here. Every day we are going on molding our next existence. Thoughts, words, action. Moral, immoral. Create good karma, bad karma, good karma, bad karma. Molding our next existence. Even without depending on Buddha or God or religion, when we use some common sense, we can understand. We have that mind to think. So, by realizing this, without wasting this valuable human life, I told you, we cannot find another mind among devas or brahmas that we can compare with the human mind. They cannot develop their mind. They spent what they got from their birth. After that they cannot develop their mind. But human beings are not like this. Every day they can develop and cultivate their mind. That is why we are called manushya. Manasa ussannata, can raise and develop the mind. And devas and brahmas who experience worldly pleasure up to maximum level, how did they get that? During the previous birth, when they were human beings, they have done more than enough good karma. So they had the chance to be born in heaven or Devaloka to experience worldly pleasure. But there they do not accumulate any good karma. Just experience, enjoy. They have no particular religion. Only human beings have religion. Animals, a spirit, ghosts, devils, devas, brahmas, all the other living beings have no religion. Only human being. Because of the human intelligence, they could manage to introduce a religion. Religion is not given by the God, because God has no religion. Only human being. A God cannot become a Buddha. Only human beings can become a Buddha. So, only human beings have religion to understand how to adjust, how to mold, how to prepare this life as well as the next life. Other living beings have no knowledge whatsoever to understand what will happen to them after their death. That is why we say they are unfortunate. Let us take animals and some others, unfortunate living beings. They cannot create good karma, but they can create bad karma. They have anger, they have greed, they have all the evil forces. But the good thought, kindness, compassion, all these things we cannot find in their mind. Therefore, they cannot create good karma. Unfortunate. Human life is fortunate, but unfortunately we have certain evil thoughts in our mind to mislead us. Due to lack of understanding, we surrender ourselves to those evil forces. Because of our greed or jealousy or anger or selfishness, we do a lot of bad things. Then, bad effect. That is why religion is important to point out. What are the things that you have to do? What are the things that you should not do? not as a law or commandment, you can understand. The Buddha says, Tumhehi kiccang atappang akkhataro tathagata. Tathagata, or the Buddhas, can tell you what to do and what not to do. The Buddha cannot do for you. Don't expect for Buddha to do everything for you. Others say God can do everything for you. The Buddha says it is impossible. Another person. You have to do that. When you want to sleep, you have to sleep. Another person cannot sleep on your behalf. When you are sick, you have to take medicine. Another person cannot take medicine. When you are hungry, you have to take food. Another person cannot do anything. Religious is like that. Our responsibility for our life, we have to undertake. Don't depend on Buddha, don't depend on God, don't depend on anybody else. You have to take the responsibility. Why? People believe that all the sins or bad karmas committed by us, if you believe in God, He come and wash away all the sins and send us to heaven. Last moment. God is keeping quiet while we are committing all the cruel, wicked, harmful, dangerous thing, disturbing, violating peace and happiness. God keep quiet. When we are going to die, we say, yes, I believe in you, please take away my sin. Straight away He come and send to heaven. How nice. But the victims are still suffering. The culprits sent to heaven, victims are still suffering. God cannot do anything to release them. People believe all these things. Especially dying moment, they approach. Oh, you may go to hell. Your Buddha say you cannot forgive your sin. Then what will happen to you? Our God can wash away all your sin. Believe in God immediately. Then sent to heaven. After that, they approached their family. Do you know your father is in heaven now? If you do not join with him, you had it. Then slowly take all the others. See the technique they have introduced, to drag others into this. The Buddha says like this. Suddhi asuddhi paccatang nanya manya visodhe. Purity and impurity, that means good karma and bad karma in our mind. Another person cannot wash away or to change another person. Either Buddha also cannot change. God also cannot change. Because good and bad karma we have done by using our mind. Not the body. Body cannot do anything. The mind use the body. Mind give the order. Then the body does the thing. Body cannot create any bad karma, the mind create. If it is bad. Then he says, many people do not know this. When they came and tell you, according to Buddhism, there's no way for you to get rid of your sins. You have to go to hell. People say, Yala. Because they don't know anything. Yassa papang katang kammang kusalena paṭivedha. Beautiful saying of the Buddha. Very unfortunately, when Christians talk about their religion, they say our Bible says like this. When Muslims talk about their religion, they say our Quran says like this. When Buddhists talk about their religion, they say people say like this. Nobody knows what the Buddha has said. See how poor our understanding about the teachings of the Buddha. And look at these sayings of the Buddha. Yassa papang katang kammang kusalena paṭivedha. if we have done certain bad karma earlier, due to our ignorance or misunderstanding or greed, one day we will come to know. Yes, I have been doing certain bad things. I know they are wrong. Stop. That is not enough. From that day onward, kusalena paṭivedha. You have to do certain good karma. Go on developing by doing good karma. What is good karma? Good actions to reduce ignorance. Good actions to reduce anger. Good actions to reduce greed. Do something. Go on developing. Later, the good karma will be able to overcome the bad effect of the bad karma you have committed earlier. You cannot wash them away. They follow, but can overcome. Then you continue life after life doing more and more good karma. Then the bad karmas have no chance to come and catch you. One day you will attain arahanthood, sainthood and nirvana. All your bad karmas withdraw. Cannot do anything. Let us take Angulimala, who had killed nearly 1,000 human beings. The Buddha came to know this. So he went. This man is very wicked. He wanted to complete 1,000 human beings. So far he has completed 99,000. So, when he saw the Buddha, he was very happy. Oh, another man is coming. He wanted to catch and kill the Buddha. Buddha has some sort of technique for different people according to their mentality. He does not preach at once because he knows this person cannot understand, cannot accept. Then he works in such a way for that person to gain some confidence. After that he starts to preach. So this Angulimala started to run. The Buddha did not run. He walked in normal way. But Angulimala run and run. He cannot run anymore. Tired. Then he says, stop. Then the Buddha knew. Now time is ready to talk to him. He said, I have already stopped. You are the one who runs. Then how can you say you have stopped? I saw you also walk. I have stopped mean I have stopped destroying others' life. You runs means you are doing it. Oh, he understood. Then he asked another question. Yes, I know you did not run, you walk, but I run. Why I could not catch you? You could not catch me because you run. If you stop your running, then you can catch me. Oh, very interesting. Then can I follow you? Why not? The Buddha ordained this murderer as a monk. From that day onward, meditation, developing, purifying his mind, he attained arahanthood, attained nirvana. All the bad karmas drop. Here people do not know this. God cannot take away, Buddha cannot take away the sin, but person who has done this can do. The mind that he or she used to do bad thing, had to use the same mind to cultivate and develop and overcome. Another person's mind cannot do this. Please remember this. So, we are not perfect. Everybody make mistake. Everybody do a lot of good things. But when realizations, understanding appear in our mind, we have to change. The maturity, knowledge, experience we can use to stop. Then from that stage onward, develop and develop and develop. Finally we get the chance to find out our salvation without becoming victims to all the bad people. So the time, I think, I was given permission only to speak 1 hour. I have taken extra few minutes. I think these few words, just now I mentioned, you can think. Then many things you can realize. Certain weaknesses that you have, you can reduce. Certain good thing that you have to cultivate, you can do. Then life becomes meaningful. Then you gain confidence. Now you have no confidence in your life. You do not know what will happen to you. But if you cultivate your life in this way, then you gain confidence.